What's going on, guys? I'm Relatable Gaming, and welcome back to Static Industry. Well, we've had a pretty busy off-camera because I recorded an entire episode of me doing Spectrum stuff, and there was no audio because OBS, for some reason, was not detecting my microphone. I don't know why. It just happened during, I guess, some kind of PC restart. But yeah, so spoiler alert for some Spectrum stuff. Obviously you're kind of looking at an altar right here, but I didn't get super far into it. Basically we got into the first pedestal multi-block. We got shimmer stone, which kind of just spawns on the surface basically around here. You can probably see some. Yeah, there's some right over there. There's a little bit right over there. And then we got into the bottles of fading, which allows me to create colorful trees. I did a little exploring and found all of the colorful trees, which I have here in this backpack. I upgraded my backpacks with electrum and refined iron, which I can make now in, let me show you, my electric alloy smelter right here. Iron dust and calcite dust, or iron ingots and calcite dust will make refined iron. So pretty cool right there. We were able to get our backpacks all the way up to gilded. And I've got an electric compressor now, electric macerator. But that's pretty much it. I really didn't do too much like crazy progression. I did set up this little area using a little trick with create that I'll show y'all. Maybe next episode, maybe this episode, I don't know, depending on how far we get. But you can pick up these buds with a minecart thing from create. So that was pretty cool. I showed that off. And that's pretty much it. Today I want to set up some automation of different components, because lately I've just been batch crafting everything. And I mean, we still got a lot of stuff. We got 630 steel rods, some iron rods, bronze rods, but I want to be almost fully automated with all of our different components, the circles, whatever they're called, the ring thingies. I don't remember what they're called. You know, plates, the rods, everything. I want to try and have it all nice and automated. That way we don't have to keep on batch crafting everything, because it does get kind of annoying having to just keep my machines full. So in order to get any kind of auto processing going, we're gonna need ore processing, because I can't passive components if I don't have the ores needed to make the components. So I've been doing a ton of batch crafting. I mean a ton. This is 16 electric macerators, which is almost a stack of analog circuits in itself, actually. Crazy amount of steel, crazy amount of tin, copper. This has taken me a while. I've been working on this since yesterday. I AFK'd overnight. You can see we've got 14 hours in our time in a bottle now. I started this episode with just a few. Alright, let's see here. So, for most of the ores that we get from our bronze drill head, we're gonna need, what am I trying to do? We're gonna need furnaces. So we've got iron, copper, tin, gold, lead, and silver. That's what, 6 ores that needs a furnace. So I can go furnace, 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 right? And that'll be 1 furnace for each ore. And then we're gonna go 2 macerators on top of each of those. So the furnace will be the final output, and the macerator will do the processing. Now, for iron, I think I'm going to set up 2 separate sections, right? I'm going to set up one for cooking iron and one for keeping iron dust, which we can use for creating steel later on. But we may not even have to do that. Let me check the steel recipe. So I can use refined iron actually in the EBF and get steel for a little bit better of a recipe, but iron dust should probably be fine. This is once we unlock carbon dust, which we can't actually get currently, but we will get there, and that'll be a lot more of an efficient way of getting it. So yeah, I think we probably will set up an extra one for iron and then split the remains of our production. And so currently I'm moving all of my ores up here into drawers. That way I can add a drawer access point. I know I've been back and forth on which one I wanted to use, but I'm using drawers because I want to be able to use a drawer access point with our Tom Simple storage network. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm not even gonna have the ores connected to our simple storage network. Actually, I don't know why I said that. I want to have a drawer access point that I can use for cables, connecting cables that I can use to connect to our ore processing. And instead of having to connect it to one, I can just filter it to this one and then filter the inputs on each of the macerators, which I think will be a lot more efficient in the long run. And I'll show y'all what I mean here in just a second whenever I get to setting these up. But I do think that this will be a little bit better of a setup. So here's how I'm going to filter these. I'm going to have it pull out right here. I'm not going to set the whitelist quite yet. I'm going to go into each of these and I'm going to say this one can take lead. This one can take tin. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in, just that you filter these. This one can take gold. This one can take silver. This one can take copper. And this one can take iron, right? Just like so. And then I'm going to come over here to this guy. And since it's set to pull, all I have to do is go like that. And all of a sudden, our system is going to start working. So it looks like it started out here. And it's just kind of working its way around. So it'll start making gold. And all of these will start working. And then of course, I'm going to have to go through and set these to auto output down to the bottom. Just like so. Because obviously they're not going to do that without me telling them to. Pretty easy process though, and this will get all of our ores processing. Now of course we're going to have to get somewhere to store all of these ores. And that's where our steel barrels from earlier come into play. I'm going to throw 6 of those down right here, and I'm just going to run a different color item pipe back over behind them to hook them back up. And then I'll be able to put an inventory connector on top and filter that so that our system will be able to see all of those ores. And as long as you lock your barrels here, you don't even have to set a filter. You can just set all of these to blacklist and allow them to pull as many items as they want. And all of these do not have to be whitelisted either. I've got them set to in and blacklist, and all the items will go to the spot that they're meant to go to. So it's pretty awesome. And let me see, I think I can clear my inventory out like that. And that's our ore processing. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it's super easy, super awesome. I mean, you can tell it's already backlogged like crazy. So we have nothing to worry about here with this. The silver will maybe be a backlog here, but we're going to be processing silver somewhere, right? So all I have to do is take that. I'm going to take that on a blue item pipe as well, right? I'm going to pull here. I don't want that connected. So actually what I'm going to do is do a different color item pipe. All right, so I connected it up with a red one. I've got it filtered to pull out raw silver. And then over here, I've got it input, and this is just set to blacklist, and it's working. We've got no silver ore in there, but we're getting raw silver from over here, which is awesome. So that's going to keep that system going. And that shouldn't backlog, hopefully at least. And all of our ores are getting processed. We've got almost nothing left other than some copper. So that's awesome. Galena, I'm really not worried about. I mean, obviously it can be smelted to coal, or to lead, I guess. So, I mean, I guess I could just process it straight into lead. I don't know. We'll see. I might add a processing chain for that at some point. All right, check this out. So I ran a cable filtered for pulling tin and copper out of our system over there. And now we've got an alloy smelter producing us some bronze. And then all I've got to do is come over here. I'm going to throw a piece of bronze in right there. And I'm going to set this filter to bronze only, right? So this will only input bronze into the back of here. And now we've got automated bronze. So that's kind of our first step. And I've set up some stuff over here. We're going to set up automation for passive processing of bronze drills all the way through the bronze, as you see, to making the drill itself. It's all going to be automated. I don't know if we're going to finish it today. This may be kind of a two-parter. I did go ahead and move my quarry up here, and we've got 2 more that are ready to set up. So that's where we're going to have those drills. Like I said, we may not finish today, but it'll be awesome once we do get finished. And this is just going to continue to process our bronze, and we'll need all of these copper components, steel components, iron components. We're going to automate all of that. And that's going to get us all of our bronze drills for being able to run quarries. All right, y'all, so stick with me here because this is kind of a complicated setup. So I want to get components for circuit cards automated before we try and automate more stuff. So over here, I've got some copper stuff automated, and I'm still setting it up, but I want to show y'all this before I really try and get into anything. I want to show y'all how I'm prioritizing these. So I've got 3 compressors, 2 wire mills, and 1 cutting machine. This compressor is set to allow 16 copper ingots to make 16 copper plates. This one is set for 4 copper rods to 4 copper rings. This one is 2 copper plates, and I've got it allowing a backup of 8 copper curved plates. I really could probably set that to 2. I might just set that to 2. You can set that with your scrolling wheel, and you can lock it with this button up here. Got this one, electric wire mill, set to plates going to wires. That's, let's see, I guess I can do 8 to 16. This one is copper rods. I've got 4 to 8. And then this one is copper wire to copper fine wire. And each of these is only going to be allowed to do their recipe. But what I can also do is come in the back here where I've got a somewhat monstrous setup for cabling. I've got this drawer allowing in these components. Now I've got this compressor to set up to allow in and out these components. Obviously it's only going to pull out what's in the out slot, and it's only going to allow in what's in the in slot. Alright, so let's say I want to set up the electric cutting machine. Oh, I already set that one up. Alright, so let's say I want to set up the electric wire mill. I want to set that up to allow in and out copper plates and copper wire, right? This one right here, I'm going to set up to allow copper wire and copper fine wire in and out, right? And then this back drawer right here is going to be copper wire and copper fine wire out, or sorry, in. So this is going to get set to in out, right? And then I'm going to go copper fine wire and copper wire. And that should be now able to pull from there if I don't get shot while I'm trying to set it up. And that'll go to there, and then that should get pulled over, yep, into our drawer right there. And I'm just going to continue to get shot while I do this. That's okay. And I think that's pretty much everything here. I got to set up this one. Okay, let me kill this skeleton. I know this is a complicated setup, but it's kind of what we need to be able to automate all of this stuff. So this one right here, this is copper curved plates. So I'm going to allow in copper plates, and I'm going to allow out copper curved plates. So let me grab a copper plate. I appear to be actually be out of copper, so I'm going to have to pump in some more over here. And what's pretty cool over here, right, is I used barrel downgrades, which sounds counterintuitive, but it'll allow only 1 stack to go in there. And then I can grab a copper plate just like so, and I can say to allow a copper plate in and allow copper curved plate out, and that'll get set to in out. And now this should be allowing copper plates to go in once the other things that are taking copper plates gets filled up, right? Do I not have this set to pull? I thought I said that one to pull. This one should be set, but maybe I didn't set it. Oh no, this one's not set to in out, right? That's the one making copper plates actually. So I want to go in out, and I want it to allow copper plates and copper ingots. So just like this. Let's see if I can get up there to it. There we go. I want to allow it to have copper ingots go in and copper plates to come out. And then we should see some of those will start to disperse throughout the different ones here that are going to be using copper plates. And it may wait until some of these are full. There we go. So now that'll start making me copper curved plates. And each of these components here will get filled up over time as our system continues to go. As you can see, we're already filled up on rods, we're filled up on rings, we'll eventually fill up on plates and all of these things. And all I gotta do is pipe some copper over from over there, which is already actually coming right here. So all I have to do is connect that item pipe straight over to there and have copper go into that middle barrel. And that'll be that setup. It's really pretty easy overall. And I don't want that actually to do anything right now. It's not too difficult. It's a little complicated, but it's gonna be useful over time for sure. So I went ahead and moved all of our ores up to here, or all of our ingots I mean, and I connected our crafting terminal up to here so we can access everything. The only other thing that I really need to do is connect our inventories over here somewhere so that I can access my drawers over there with components. But I think for now, this is where we're going to leave off this episode. I do hope that y'all enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. And as always, take care, y'all.